Yeah, thanks for coming and for turning up. We obviously wanted to acknowledge David Ball's retirement from the Wellington Phoenix, not from football, but just from the Wellington Phoenix. We don't do this for all players that leave the Wellington Phoenix, but Bally's been with us now for 6 years, and has been a fantastic servant, and it's incredible how many games he's played over that 6 years, and they just sort of snuck up on us. Some of that time was through the COVID period where Bally and his family had to relocate to Wollongong to continue to play for the club, and also, of course, when he played through a toe injury to ensure the Wellington Phoenix had one of its best finishes ever. So we did want to acknowledge Bally's contribution to the club in a very overt way, which is why we're doing this today. Thank him for all his time and his contribution to the club, and he will, I think we've mentioned that, and Brenton wrote it in his press release, he will go down as a legend of the Wellington Phoenix, right up there with a number of the players that have played throughout all of our seasons. And yeah, we just wanted to really thank Bally in a very overt way.
Thank you.
In general terms, David, how do you reflect on the last 6 years?
It's been probably the 6 best years probably of my career in terms of experience. Like Domi said there, we've been through a lot of things that probably I didn't expect when I first came out here, moving to the other side of the world. So I've loved every minute of being at the football club. To say that, my last start for the football club was in a packed out Sky Stadium, which in a game that we should have won, was pretty special. So, and in all that time, we've obviously created a lot of history as well. So I feel like I've left the club in a better place alongside some top players that I've played with.
How are the emotions today?
Tough. It's tough to obviously digest. I met with Gilly over a week ago. We had a good chat, and it sort of progressed pretty quickly because that's always the way it's been. We've had really good communications throughout the whole time I've been at the football club, and yeah, it's just been tough. It's been a tough process. I was obviously at the game on the weekend as well with my oldest. My 2 boys are Phoenix fans. They've grown up here in the city as well. So it's been a tough. There's been a few tears saying goodbyes to everyone, and it's been tough.
So Gilly, how does this process all work? How does it play out?
Yeah, so obviously, Chief, you decided that you want to go in a different direction. So we have that conversation with Bally. I think probably the first time it was raised was sort of getting towards the beginning of the beginning of the season. And then Bally and I obviously have conversations. And then I think the last one, we sat down and we had a really good chat about where Bally wanted to go to in terms of the future, where we want the family to be, etc., etc. And we came to basically a mutual agreement on what was best for him, what was best for the football club, and how we would structure the termination of the paperwork coming out of that. So it was a good open process, I thought, with Bally. It's difficult, it's tough, but it's professional football.
And is it driven largely by the fact that it will free up an import spot for you?
There is that part of it, yes.
And in terms of moving forward, I know I've got some more questions about David, but is that import spot going to be filled quickly?
That's the intention. Yeah, we will. I mean, obviously we've only just completed this process in the last few days, and then obviously with Oscar moving on as well. Now we know where on the park we need to fix, what we want to do, and we'll start that process of finding the right player to come in.
Dave, I suppose you haven't had much time to digest it all, but what now for you?
I've been fit for the last 4 months. I've been training every day, working really hard on getting my fitness levels up and being ready, obviously, to be called upon if that changed, when that discussion changed. Because ultimately, I've been playing for the Wellington Phoenix, and I've always wanted to just help the team and help us put us in a better position. But like Gilly said, that's football. I'm a big boy. I've been around a lot of discussions in my life, and I understand that the manager makes the decision at the end of the day. You can't change that as much as you want to. So I've my body's in a good position. I'd still like to, you know, to carry on and play on. If the opportunity comes, I think I'd still be a good asset for someone. But ultimately, it's more today about, you know, talking about the good times and the everything I've enjoyed about this football club.
How far afield would you be looking potentially if you were to...
I don't know. Do you know? Like I've not even had them thoughts in my head really, because like I said, this has been a tough process in all. I didn't expect it to obviously finish in this sense. You know, I would have liked to have done it in a different way, but like we said, it's football. Things change quickly, and they're all out of my control, unfortunately. And yeah, so that's me.
Numbers only tell some of the story, obviously, in any career. The games themselves, I mean, you're top 10 all time at the football club. But in terms of the way that you brought other teammates into the game, assists, link-up play, your tireless running, how proud are you of that sort of thing?
That's been me throughout my football career. I think if you speak to Uffy, who signed me, it's probably that's why he brought me to the club. You know, he seen me as a foil for the striker, the number 9, the natural number 9, and I think I've done that. Everyone I've played with has scored a lot of goals. I've always been a facilitator almost, and connector through the midfield to the front, and I think I've shown that at the football club, and probably that versatility to play across that front 4 and sometimes in midfield as well. So, you know, I'm just very, very proud of my input into the football club, and like I said before, the stuff that we've actually achieved in these 5 years of moving the club forward. This club looks a very different club. Even the guys sat behind us now, who pushed the club forward and have made it into a better football club. And you see some of the young ones going off to Europe. The club's in a fantastic place from where I came from 5 years ago, and I've only played a small part. That there's everyone in this room's played a huge part in getting the football club to a better place, and so I feel quite proud leaving it where I am now.
And a lot of players, you've played a lot of players. You joined the squad, and players have come and gone, but a number of young Kiwi players have been teammates of yours, and a lot of them mention when they move the influence that you have on them off the field as much as on the field. Is that something that has come naturally to you, that you've intentionally looked to do? Yeah,
definitely. I think coming over here as a foreign player, you've probably had like some different experiences that they want to go and have. So for me, I see it as a position that I could help those young lads. You know, when I was younger, I maybe didn't have. It was a bit different when I was a bit younger in terms of the help that you got from some of the older lads and the dialogue. But I said to myself that when I get to that age, that I want to be that. I want to change that, and I've tried to, you know, help them young lads understand what they're going into and help them along and give them advice, and ultimately they've done it all themselves, to be honest with you. They've worked hard enough to get that opportunity and move on. But it's nice to say that you've been part of that journey, and if they say something nice on the way out, it's fantastic.
Gillian, would there be a chance down the track for Bally to return to the club in a different capacity?
100%. I mean, part of what we've done with how we've structured the sort of youth termination together is to assist David with the David Ball Academy and, you know, help him with that, to help grow that, which will keep him coaching, you know, and I think one of the next evolutions for the academy too is, you know, ex-Phoenix players, professional players going into coaching roles there. So, you know, we're going to follow with great interest, and if the opportunity arises for both parties in the future, then 100%. You know, I mean, you know, David goes into, I guess, categories like Greenie and Ify as sort of legends that have been at the club for a long time. They've decided to make Wellington their home, potentially, or New Zealand their home long term, you know, so those guys are gold to have around the place.
And how would you like to be remembered by Phoenix fans?
Just as a good person, a good energetic person who gives time of day to everyone, and someone who gave his all on the football pitch. You know, played for the shirt, played for everyone in Wellington. Yeah, that probably sums it up really. And just be remembered as some of the good times, like the likes of Greenie, and I feel that was something when I first came. You know, I met Greenie, and to be put in the same bracket as those two players, I'm pretty proud of that in the careers that those had, because I've got a lot of respect for both of them too.